In this episode, an electro-modded Jeep. Volkswagen turns a Jetta GLI into a touring car, and the Toyota GR Corolla gets a rally edition. Welcome to episode 131 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rao, I have a fun fact for you.
Oh,
I learned this the other day.
Okay.
It's not automotive related, but it is space related.
Oh, so it's right up your alley.
The distance from the Earth to the moon, on average, do you know how long?
828,237,457 miles.
It's around 241,000 miles.
I'm not even close.
No, but your car could go about that far.
Yeah, you could drive to the moon.
You could.
But could you drive? What car could drive to the moon and back?
Any diesel.
Diesels or Toyotas?
You think there are Toyotas out there that have gone over 500,000?
There are Toyotas that have gone 1 million.
Okay, that's over.
There was at one point a dealer that gave a dude a new Tundra because it rolled over 1 million miles.
Wow, that's far.
That's crazy. Could you imagine driving that many miles in one car?
No.
That's a lot of miles.
All right, my fun fact, though, is that you can fit all of the planets in our solar system, all 8 of them, excluding Pluto, rip Pluto, into the distance in a straight line between the Earth and the moon.
Even Jupiter?
Yep.
It's huge.
You could fit them all if you lined them all up, and you'd only have a couple thousand miles to spare between them.
So, yeah, you'd have, like, from Florida to California.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
Really shows you the moon's further away than you think.
It is, yes, which means it's really far to Mars.
Very. I don't know that number, but it's ridiculous.
Yes.
And it depends on the orbits. And anyway, do we have some auto news to talk about?
I would say we do, yes. So this week starts off SEMA. You remember talking about SEMA, the SEMA show?
Yes. I was
Yes.
actually in Vegas last year when SEMA was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I distinctly remember all the hooligans driving their Lamborghinis and Ferraris down the Vegas Strip and just revving them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, you remember what SEMA stands for?
We
did this last time.
I know.
Keep going.
Special.
You're close.
Tell me.
Specialty Equipment Market Association.
That's right.
Essentially, aftermarket people.
Aftermarket, fancy, weird stuff.
Everything.
Yes.
Aftermarket, I don't know, valve stems to the aftermarket headliners to engines to intakes to headlights to all of the things that are aftermarket for your car.
Yes.
So with this week being SEMA week, pretty much all the news is going to be centered around SEMA because that's just kind of what's happening right now. So first couple of newses, we got a Jeep to start off with here. We have the Jeep CJ Surge.
Ooh.
So if I say Surge, what comes to mind?
Surge?
Mm-hmm.
Water.
Well, we live in Florida, so that would be valid for you. But what if we didn't live in
Hurricanes.
Florida and you have a surge protector?
Electricity?
Yes. So there's an electric Jeep.
Okay.
Yes, so Jeep is electrifying its old CJ. So way back when, and don't ask me if it's a CJ5 or a CJ7 body. I don't remember, but it is one of the CJ bodies from Jeep. They have, and they call this electro-modded it. And I have like Resto-Mod.
Oh.
It's called an electro-mod. Wow.
Okay. That's an interesting
Wow.
name.
Don't like that. But apparently Jeep has thrown some sort of electric drive module into an old Jeep.
All right. Let's keep going in this before I start going down the rabbit hole.
Okay. So apparently this electric drive module will provide energy through battery modules and power through a 200 kilowatt motor. Apparently it's a scalable 400 volt, 200 kilowatt electric drive module that sits kind of at the heart of this modular system that's supposed to be like drop into an old Jeep.
So it's 200 kilowatt hours for the battery, I'm assuming?
400 volt, 200 kilowatts is what
Okay.
is stated here.
Yes.
They don't have full
That's fine.
range announced yet, and they don't have like full capacities announced. But essentially think of it this way. You find an old Jeep in a junkyard, and you think, it's my project Jeep. I'm going to fix it up. I'm going to take it to the beach. Great. And instead of dumping in whatever engine you can find, such as an LS or a diesel or an old Jeep engine, something, you say, hey, ring, ring, Jeep, you got one of them fancy their electro mod engines for me? And they say, sure. And they mail you this here battery. And instead of putting an internal combustion engine in it, you put these here batteries in it.
Okay. I am very torn. Half my brain thinks that this is a good idea. The other half thinks this is a terrible idea. And I don't know which is correct yet.
Okay.
I know you think it's a terrible idea.
Well,
it's fine.
Hold on.
Give me some more numbers, and then I'll tell you why I think those.
Well, there's not really a whole lot of numbers.
Okay.
So, because it's mostly concept at this point, it's going to be mounted, the batteries, it's a 24 lithium-ion battery module. So there's 24 of them, right?
Okay.
I interpret that as you get 24 batteries, right?
More than that, but that's fine.
Well, 24 modules filled with many batteries inside of the module, right? It's going to be, those are put under like where the back seats would be, sort of thing.
Okay.
It is supposed to have some sort of like customized 4-wheel drive system that is supposed to use a strange, weird 2-speed Jeep transfer case with different gearing, which doesn't really make a lot of sense if it's an electric drivetrain.
Okay.
Again, to me, it's you go forwards or backwards.
It sounds to me like the electric motor then goes into the gearbox or the traditional drivetrain, as opposed to having the electric motors on the wheels directly.
That kind of sounds like what that is.
Okay. All right. I'm tracking.
It's going to have... It's kind of like you get the dash of an old Jeep CJ with like the gear shift selector of like a brand new Wrangler. It's got, like I said, the transfer case and all that. It just seems... I don't know. My question to you is...
What is this thing trying to be?
So here's my question. Do people that are fixing up old Jeeps want or even care about the old internal combustion engine powertrain that would have originally been in them?
Some people do care about that powertrain, but others don't. Like I said, I think that this depends on who the person is. Here's my example. The guy who owns the Jeep and is running the Jeep cares, and he likes the internal combustion engine. His wife doesn't care about the ICE engine and would probably rather it be an EV.
Here's my theory. I think people that, I guess it depends. Is it a Jeep that's been passed down from grandfather to grandfather to grandfather to grandson to son? They, I think, will care more about the original ICE engine. Whereas if it's just a barn find, it was just a shell of a Jeep CJ and some, I don't know, I'm going to call him a suburban dad that wants to tinker with things. He just says, okay, what's the cheapest way for me to put, I don't know, a reliable powertrain in it? Maybe not cheapest, but what's another way for me to put a reliable powertrain in it? And Jeep offers him a solution. He may not care that it wasn't in ICE anymore.
You could be right about that. I think it's very person dependent. But I do think that the majority of the CJ Jeep owners are pretty hardcore Jeep people and pretty in the weeds about the ICE engine and would probably rather have the ICE engine, to be honest.
I think you're probably right. But I guess time will only tell.
Another question, would you take, Jeep is an off-road thing, would you take this rock crawling or off-roading or mud bogging or doing the off-roading thing that you do with Jeeps?
No, I wouldn't trust range or anything if I'm actually using. I wouldn't trust it to get wet. No. I mean, if you sink it, because that's kind of what you do with a Jeep, I don't trust it. Sorry, no, not for me. I think it's, if you're the dude that lives in, I don't know, somewhere like Bradenton or Sarasota, Florida, and is only going to take it to the beach on a Sunday afternoon, sure.
Yeah.
But that's it to me. I don't see this as a serious off-roader.
I don't either. I'm kind of confused as to why Jeep is doing this. This seems odd.
Because they can.
Is this a development strategy for them to tinker around with the EV stuff while designing the real full EV Jeep in the background?
It could be. It got me beat. I don't know. It could be something tinkering, or they could just have run out of ideas for Sema and said, well, we can do this.
It's probably that. Throw it together real quick, guys.
Yeah. Oh, shit. We forgot Sema's this week. What can we do? Well, there was that electric thing we worked. Yes. Done.
Plop some batteries in it. Figure out a way to figure out the drivetrain and mechanically link it. All right, it's good.
And put some mud tires on it. Sold.
Send it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Weird.
Yeah, very. But shall I move on?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on to a Volkswagen.
A Volkswagen?
Yes, a Volkswagen. A Volkswagen that appeals to me as it is a distant relative of a Volkswagen that I currently have. So another Sema vehicle is this Volkswagen Jetta GLI performance concept. I'm stoked about this. The entire reason this car is a thing is Volkswagen is trying to build a car that feels and looks like an actual touring car, like a touring racing car. Think BTCC, so British Touring Car Championships.
Right.
And that, to me, is what this looks like from like the 90s.
It does.
I like that a lot.
It's bold, though.
I like it. Maybe not in red and black, but I like it.
Do you like those rims?
Love it. Aero disc wheels, those are exactly what it feels like on a 90s BTCC car.
I agree.
If you're going for like a 90s BTCC British Touring Car Championship feel, that nails it. 100%. The wheels they're actually made by Rotiform, the Rotiform GRZ wheels, and they have the aero disc cover on them. I love the aero discs. I think they're great.
Those are love-hate wheels. Either you love them or you hate them.
Love them to death.
But if it's going for that British stuff, it works.
Yeah, as a touring car kind of car, it's perfect. So a little bit of stats here. This car was built by Racing Line, which is actually like a performance subsidiary of Volkswagen. So Racing Line is a company that a lot of people in the US haven't really heard of because they're big in Europe and the UK, and they actually build a lot of like actual racetrack performance Volkswagens.
I've never heard of them.
So like a lot of the Volkswagen race cars, maybe some of the rallycross cars, things like that, right? So that's who actually built this in partner with Volkswagen here. Again, the goal was to try to make this like a touring car, right? Like we said, think BTCC. They did start off with a 2022 Volkswagen Jetta GLI, the Autobahn trim, which is more like a top spec trim. This Jetta GLI performance concept is lower and wider. So it's lower on some fancy coilovers, custom coilovers. They're kind of inverted. Don't know a whole lot, but they're kind of cool. And these fender flares are 0.8 inches wider. So it's lower, it's wider. It just, to me, it works. It does have a lot more substance in terms of performance, though.
Ooh.
This car, starting with the handling stuff, it actually has big 6-piston brake calipers with 15-inch carbon ceramic discs.
6 pistons? That's a lot.
On a Jetta.
What the heck?
That's a lot of stopping.
Carbon ceramics?
Yeah.
On a Jetta?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
I love it. It's ridiculous, but I love it. It's got custom coilovers, like I said, which are inverted in terms of the way they compress. Then what Racing Line did here is they added a bigger turbo. They had the IS38 turbo and all the supporting mods with it, like intake, exhaust, things like that. And then it's tuned to develop 350 horsepower with 372 pound-feet of torque.
Golly.
And as we saw, it's got those custom Recaro or pole position race seats. Oh, I love those.
350 horsepower on a Jetta's a lot.
That's a lot.
What's the normal Jetta? Do you know?
2 to 240-ish.
2 and change?
Maybe 270.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, spicy.
That is spicy. Huh. That's a cool car.
But yeah, I can dig it.
Yeah.
As a Jetta GLI owner and fan, I like it.
That is right up your alley.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Cool. So, let's move on from the Volkswagen.
All right.
Let's move on to another Sema car, the Toyota Gazoo Racing Corolla Rally Concept is what they call this.
Oh, boy.
So let's talk about this. This is a GR Corolla, which you and I have talked a bunch about, which I think you and I both agree that we love, as long as you can buy one for close to MSRP and not have to pay $50,000.
You never will, but that's fine.
Corolla. But this Corolla Rally concept is kind of cool looking. It does feature all sorts of 3D printed stuff, 3D printed vents and things. Yeah, I know.
Hey.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's got a great big giant huge wing on the back.
It's massive.
It
It
is
is absurd.
freaking enormous.
It's hill climb big.
It is World Rally Challenge hill climb, like, yes.
Yes.
Pull a chair to your dining room table big.
You could sit in that wing
Oh, yes, comfortably.
and have dinner there.
Comfortably, yes. It's nuts. But it's supposed to be rally inspired. So it's got those 3D printed vents in the rear quarter panels. It's got a full roll cage. It's got a pair of OMP racing seats. It's got a fire suppression system. And actually, those vents are kind of cool. They're functional. They do send cool air directly to the oil and transmission coolers.
Great.
Can dig that. Now, they draw its inspiration from the GR Yaris rally car. That's where we can kind of see this. It is sitting on some 17-inch white OZ Racing Rally wheels, which work for that car. Now, thinking back to Toyota returning to rallying, right? Toyota actually came back to the World Rally Championship in 2017 after nearly 20 years of being out of it.
Whoa.
I believe that the last real rally car they had was the Celica GT4.
Wow.
Yeah. Huge.
Huh.
So they came back with the GR Yaris 2017. So that's where this car kind of came from. Now, it does have some extra braking. So the stock brake setup has been kind of added and gifted an extra set of rear calipers with the Willwood turning brakes, which apparently turning brakes help to spin the car, rotate the car, right?
Okay.
Now, this car does also have fully adjustable TN gravel rally coilovers, so it's got suspension that can fit the part. But here's where you lose me. There is absolutely no performance modifications to the engine whatsoever. All this with nothing to make it go properly faster.
But this is a SEMA car?
Yes.
It's not like this is a homologation car.
That's actually where I was going to be going next.
Oh.
Because in this article, there was some comments at the bottom. And I found one comment which really struck a chord with me. And it kind of exactly resonated as to my thoughts with this whole car as well. So a comment from user Kimin_chicken says, quote, I'm not sure where Toyota will make its exciting new hot hatch racing. Will take its exciting new hot hatch racing because it's not a homologation candidate. It would be a class too big for WRC, so the World Rally Challenge, and also a class too big for the FIA Rallycross. And apparently, the new generation of hybrid WRC cars are no longer built from a production vehicle, but are constructed using a tubular race car chassis like the new NASCARs. So it seems like this is just a one-off marketing exercise, which is all it is.
Okay.
If this was essentially a road-going version of an actual car they're trying to get homologated for WRC or Rallycross, I'd say, hell yeah, count me in, brother. But it's not.
It's not. But
tinsel.
It seems like they put more effort into this than a normal car that you would bring to SEMA and throw together at the last second.
I actually find it the other way.
Really?
I think they got, again, just like Jeep, I think they got surprised that SEMA was already here. They're like, what's the date today? Oh, shit. It's Halloween. It's October 31st. SEMA's tomorrow. Ah! And they've been racing the Yaris forever.
True.
I think they went, what are we going to do to make these SEMA people happy? I know. We'll grab the wing from the Yaris. We'll get the roll cage. We'll do a little bit of quick welding there. We'll get some suspension, which we've already got from the Yaris because that's what we use anyway. We've got the wheels. We use those in the Yaris anyway. We've got the roll. Yeah, we got the seats. Yep, those are in the Yaris anyway.
3D print some vents. Takes a couple hours.
Yeah, I think this was kind of like another, oh shit, SEMA's tomorrow. Ah!
All right, I guess I see it. The only question I had was the brakes, probably kind of a bit of a pain to do, and the inverted suspension gibbons that they
That's
did.
not on this. Inverted suspension is on the Jetta.
Oh, all right.
This car
Right.
has just got TN rally coilovers.
Okay.
So
Then you're correct. This is a throw together, not going to actually be a rally car.
exactly.
Weird.
They did this because they want to make something exciting looking for SEMA, which if you want something exciting looking, there you have it.
SEMA brings out the not best in car companies, to be honest.
It brings out the not best and the best. Not much in between.
The last second.
Yes.
Dog ate my homework. Oh, goodness. Scramble this now.
Exactly. 100%. And I
Weird.
think that's kind of what Toyota did here.
All right.
So that's all I got for news today. You got anything else?
I do not.
All right, so that's going to wrap us up for episode 131. Crazy to think.
Yep.
Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave us a thumbs up on the video. Drop a comment as well. Let us know which of the 3 SEMA cars we talked about is your favorite. Send us a message on social if you're not watching on YouTube. Don't forget, follow us on YouTube as well, right? Hit that subscribe button, and anywhere else we're on social. Facebook is Facebook is We Are Auto. YouTube is We Are Auto. Instagram is We Are Auto _. And our website is weareauto.io. So again, thanks so much. Catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.